Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for One Piece chapter 1099. We're only, a week or two, depending on if there's a break or not, away from a big 100 chapter milestone again. And I'm excited to read, as I always am. Sorry that this is a little bit late for patrons and channel members. I mean, it is still, I'm doing this on Saturday. I was going to do it on Wednesday, so I kept checking throughout the day, but it wasn't up in time for me to record, so it wasn't up Wednesday. And then I had to do holiday stuff Thursday and Friday, so sorry, holiday stuff came up. That's why the early stuff for patrons and members is a bit late. But yeah, I haven't been spoiled on anything, luckily. The only things that I have seen is I've seen people saying, it's mid, or it's not that great, or whatever, which to me means nothing. To me, that doesn't mean a thing. Because just like 2 chapters ago or something, I've really been liking the Kuma flashback as a whole. But I loved the Kuma flashback stuff, and I loved and was shocked and surprised by how much of the stuff that we got to see when it comes to the God Valley incident. I really didn't even think we'd see as much as we did this early in the story, especially because this flashback is focusing on Kuma and his character personally. So I'm surprised we got to see even as much as we did, but a bunch of people were saying, that chapter was overhyped, that chapter was mid, and I really thought it was good. I've been enjoying the Kuma flashback. So, hearing opinions from other people doesn't really affect what I'm going to think. I guess that's about it. Let's just go through the bingo board before we start reading, as we always do. This time around, really, it seems like we're sticking with the flashback, probably, but it seems like we'll probably come out of it soon because of the way that last chapter ended, so I'm expecting either this chapter or 1100 will come back out of the flashback, and probably something big will happen next week, or next chapter, rather. So, because we're kind of going on with the same stuff, I couldn't really think of that much to change, so instead of changing 5, I only changed 3 spaces, especially because a lot of my spaces, as I've been doing this, I've found a couple that I just think are general and work really well. Stuff like named attack or bounty reveals, things like that are general that I just feel like can always be up there. But this time around, the one I ended up with, and I gotta say, if you want to generate your own card, I'll put a link in the comments and description so that you can generate your own. So this time I got Vivi Wapple or Morgans, a new name Devil Fruit, York, Clone, which is a new one I added. I saw some people theorizing that Bonnie is a clone, or at least the current Bonnie that we know of is a clone, or if we just get to see more of the cloning technology stuff in general, because we still don't really have a lot of context behind Kuma and Vegapunk's relationship, which has to be at least somewhat close, definitely important. Back to the present, Smoker, a Zoan transformation, which is another one that can, kind of be up here every week. Flashback, Crocodile, because we still haven't seen how Crocodile ties in with Ivankov or anything. We might not be getting that at all this flashback, but I thought, maybe on the off chance, it'd be nice to have here still. Gorosei, a named character death. Kuma's Bible is a new one I added up there if we see, the backstory for that. Free Space, which we can go ahead and click. A new cover story, a named attack, an admiral, a bounty reveal, someone is eating is a new one. I was gonna just put food or something, because that's something that's you think might end up no matter what the chapter is, but I was like, food can be a vague term, so I'm gonna specifically somebody eating. Vegapunk, any member of the Straw Hats, Egghead Butt fan service, Carrot Andor, Zunisha, any island other than Egghead, Where's Caribou, or Devil Fruit Awakening. I did see that the anime did a goodbye scene for Carrot, so I would assume that they wouldn't be doing that unless Oda was like, oh yeah, that's cool to do. So that makes me think Carrot's not showing up. Oda just really dropped the ball on the character, which isn't super unusual for post-time skip One Piece. My views on One Piece are complex because I've talked about how much I really, really like this Kuma flashback, but I've talked about how much I've also disliked a lot of things recently too. There's been so much recently in Egghead that I've absolutely loved and that I've absolutely not liked whatsoever. And I think that's just One Piece at this point. I think that pre-time skip One Piece is basically perfect. I think post-time skip One Piece is one of the best bits of manga ever written, but right from the jump, right from Fishman Island post-time, or I was saying pre-time skip that whole time, right? I might have messed up. Pre-time skip's pretty much perfect. But post-time skip, right from the beginning, right from Fishman Island, has just been, like, not very good. And I've been a defender of it. I've been, like, when people say, oh, it's the worst thing ever, I'm like, okay, other than Wano, it's not the worst thing ever. So I've been a defender of plenty of parts of post-time skip One Piece, but it's like definitely nowhere close to the quality of pre-time skip, and especially Wano is just a complete narrative disaster, a narrative war crime. Wano is just terrible. So I think that Carrot's a character that ended up being good before Wano, but was just handled disastrously in Wano, which you can say about, like, any of the characters. I think other than Momonosuke, I don't know that there was a well-written character at all during Wano. Like, we could say maybe Robin, but I think that's, like, an extremely low bar. Robin actually doing something post-time skip is the thing that everybody's celebrating, but it's like, that's a part of the main cast, and what we're celebrating is her doing something. Because she spent hundreds of chapters doing nothing, which is bad. And honestly, I've always been kind of a Zoro above Sanji kind of guy, but I think Sanji got better treatment and better writing in Wano than Zoro did. But yeah, Wano was just a disaster for pretty much every character except Momonosuke. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I feel like my voice is, like, way off tonight. So yeah, disaster. The Carrot stuff, probably a disaster. And even since then, it's like One Piece is just extremely, extremely hit and miss post-time skip. I just think, it's one of those things where sometimes things will seem unimportant, and then hundreds of chapters later, they will actually mean something. And then sometimes things will seem very important, but Oda just drops it, or what he writes flops. So yeah, I don't know. Just hit and miss post-time skip One Piece stuff. But either way, let's get into the actual chapter this week. Moving on to the chapter, we have chapter 1099, Pacifist. And oh no, already Wano stinking up the chapter. We have some Tanuki styling Oden's hair. So still no new cover story. You've done enough, Kuma. And we see the place burning. There's no saving anyone else. You'll only add yourself to the casualty list. Get out of there. Please, Kumachi. I've got the idea for this effective policy from a country in the Far East. They were able to curry favor with the Celestial Dragons by burning away all their trash. Okay, talking about Goa probably. Leaving a beautiful, spotless city. One must have the heart to do the devil's work. That's the only way to ensure a nation becomes rich and bountiful. King Bekuri. The people are still resisting us, sire. You murderers. We didn't ask for this. Stop burning the southern province. They're failing to see the greater good. Kill four or five of them. Kya, anyone who disagrees with the king's edict is welcome to step forward now. Who's that? Stop, we'll execute you on the spot. And Kuma's coming through. Kuma's church. Tend to the wounded. Bonnie-chan, stay inside. We can't have you caught in the light. Is it gonna be okay? I've never seen Daddy so on edge. Don't you dare. There are consequences for those who take up arms against their king. It won't be pretty, you bumpkin of a priest. And we see Ursa's shock. This day would go down in history as Sorbet's one-man revolution. And we see the Holy Land, Meriwa. It seems Sorbet has a new king. Oh, is this how we got named Tyrant? How odd. And to whom did the crown fall? The people would not take no for an answer, so Kuma relented, and the people are chanting for him. We're seeing the castle being rebuilt. He became a king who lived in a beaten-down old church. King Kumachi, my hip is killing me. Stop teasing me already. I love Kuma. He's had to have become one of my favorite characters in the series by now. I'm nothing but a figurehead. Bulldog-san's the one who's really running the country. King Bulldog was our old king. His last reign wasn't half bad. Sure, we were poor, but our hearts were full. Mind you, it would have been nicer if I could say the same thing for my wallet. And we have, Bonnie's older now. By the way, who's the baby you've got running laps? She looks just like Jenny. Jenny? Gotta up my stamina. Oh, does she have the devil fruit by now? Is she using it to age herself up? Why are you all looking at me like that? I want to be able to sail the horizon with Daddy by the time I turn 10. Daddy? That's why. I'm trying to build stamina. What? Okay. You're Bonnie? Wait, did you eat a devil fruit? When? Kumachi, pull yourself together. Or maybe did she always have one? Like maybe she was fed one as a baby or something? So she's always been like this? Could this be the age fruit? Where'd she find it? I don't know. Try chanting something. Granny time! Granny time! Hang on, Bonnie. Your body can't take this. King Kuma. Bulldog-san requires an audience. Whoa! You actually did it! Amazing! We have the comedy. Look at all those wrinkles! Dang. Still can't make myself old. Who are you, old-timer? You must be Princess Bonnie. I'm Bulldog, your father's advisor. I've come with dire news. Previous King of Sorbet, Bulldog. I see you've already met my mother, the old Queen Dowager, Connie. So she's even more generations past, and that's who Bonnie was impersonating at the Reverie. King Beckwith's plotting another comeback. What gives? This article's a total smear job, and we see the evil tyrant in the papers. This stinks of Beckwith's propaganda. It says here you burned villages and took the throne by force. How dare he? He's probably laughing about this at some resort overseas. This proves Beckwith's still got the backing of the world government. I'm sure he'll make another bid for the throne. I've had reports suggesting his battleships are already on standby. I never want to see Beckwith's face again. He'll kill us for sure if he returns. I feel the same. I won't let him take one step on sorbet soil. If he attacks again, I'll do all I can. Only, I'm sure they'll have me hunted down as a criminal now. I won't be able to stay in the country. With that in mind, Bulldog-san, can I ask you to reclaim your title as king so things can carry on as they are? Also, would you be willing to take her in? The church won't be safe anymore. Sorry, this panel is so funny. I understand. We'll make a new home that protects her from all sources of natural light. I did it. And sorry, I've been neglecting it, but let me just go through. We did technically, like, Morgan's made the paper, but we didn't see Morgan's. I'm going to count New Name Devil Fruit because we get the name of the HH fruit. No clone yet. No York or Back to the Present. We did see a Gorosei. We are still in the flashback. No Zoan transformations or Smoker. Well, Beckwith didn't die, so we don't have a named character death. He didn't die during all this. I don't think we've seen Kuma's Bible itself yet either. No new cover story, that's not happening. Or a named attack. We saw the Ursus shock, but they didn't actually say it. No Straw Hats, because the cover thing was Odin. No Vegapunk. Hold on, somebody might have been eating. We'll have to go back through. Bounty Reveal, Admiral, No Butt Fan Service, or Carrot or Zunisha. We do have an island other than Egghead. So if we get York and someone's eating, if we go back to the present time, hold on. No Caribou or no Devil Fruit Awakening, even though we have a Devil Fruit being used for the first time. I think we've probably seen somebody eating somewhere. I'll have to go back through. Alright, we have I Love Her turning into an old lady with Connie. Bonnie, I'll be back as soon as I can, so be a good girl till then. You look just like Ma. You're leaving, but I'll be so lonely. There he is. Be good Marines and shoot him. He's the tyrant who usurped my throne. The very definition of a corrupt dictator. Kill him this instant. I'm Sorbet's rightful ruler. Have you no shame? How dare you show your face here again? Of course. Kuma sank the entire armada. Alright, now we're getting, narrated at. After that, Kuma would go to sea and be branded as a pirate. His strength fueled his notoriety, which spread like wildfire, earning him a bounty. Daddy, I miss you so much, and she's being taken care of by Connie. I'm sorry, Bonnie-chan, but try to understand. Kuma-san saved us all. He's a hero. I don't care. He was my dad first. I'll finally be cured after I turn 10. Then I'm gonna be a pirate too. Well, let's just wait and see. I could be an adult right now if I wanted. Oh, this is so cool. This is the island that he sent Chopper to. Oh, that's so cool. And that's how he knows that they had medical technology to send Chopper there to learn from. That's crazy. Have you ever encountered a disease like that before? Or she can't be in the sun. How awful. And we see Mihawk's Island. So we're seeing all of this. Found you. Bartholomew Kuma, right? And that's Jeetan Abdullah. There's a big prize on your head, so he met Jeetan Abdullah. Your daughter has another 5 years at best. And hold on, I feel like, is this Baltimore where he sent? Is that Baltimore where he sent Frankie? So we're seeing all the places that he sent the Straw Hats and how he knew to send them there. That's so cool. Yeah, and we see what is it? Something Wolf something. For some reason, I like there's San Juan Wolf. Is it Tequila Wolf? It might be Tequila Wolf. It'll be a miracle. And we see where he sent Nami, and I'm not sure about the one before that. I mean, I assume it's one of the ones that he sent the Straw Hats to. Oh, no, they don't look like long arms. I was gonna say maybe where he sent Brooke. Not 100%. But we see Heracles and where he sent Usopp. It'll be a miracle if she reaches her 10th birthday. He just searched the world. And we see a black ship. It's him, Kuma-chan. Oh, and I forget the egg guy. I think he had a name, didn't he? Pretty sure we've seen him. But we have, she has the cigarette, so I'm assuming Bello Betty and Morley this time. Eva and Inazuma. So this is the revolutionary ship. They have the black ship. I was kind of hoping the revolutionaries wouldn't be the ones with the last poneglyph, because it's exciting if it's somebody new or mysterious. But it doesn't not make sense for it to be them. I just think it's boring for it to be them. Eva and Inazuma got caught and sent to prison. Okay, so they were already in Impel Down by now. How are you holding up? I hear you've been wearing a lot of hats recently. King, Tyrant, and Pirate. People change. Oh, please. Like anyone in the Revolutionary Army would take those articles seriously. By the way, Kuma, how would you feel if I became the captain of the Eastern Forces? Why are you asking me? Dragon-san won't let anyone officially take up Jinny-sama's old post without your blessing. Another sharp-tongued woman heading up the Eastern Forces? That's fine by me. All right. Sabo and Koala wanted to see you too. Our young revolutionaries are steady becoming stronger. I'd love you to see how far they've come. I've traveled the world. I often found myself wondering, what would Dragon do here? Honestly, I'd like to return to the revolutionaries too, but that reminds me. I wanted to talk to you about Bonnie. Have you heard of a Navy scientist by the name Dr. Vegapunk? There was an accident the other day, and he's gonna have to switch labs. Okay, this must have been around the Punk Hazard stuff. This is so crazy how so much stuff throughout the series is all being tied into Kuma's story. It's usually tricky to get a hold of him, or to get a hold of a man like him, but I'm sure security will be pretty lax around him at the moment. Thank you for the lead, Dragon. To be honest, I was close to giving up. I'll try not to be a stranger, and I don't know what technology he could have that could cure her, unless maybe the clone thing is right. If I can cure Bonnie's disease, I'll be ready to fight by your side once more. Go where the winds of fate take you, my friend. And of course, the winds of fate. He's got to have, obviously storm or wind related devil fruit. Yeah. And we see Bonnie knocking somebody out. I went easy on her. Wow, Bonnie, you're amazing. Daddy. Navy Science Division Lab 8, future location of Egghead. Where are we going? I'm taking you for a checkup. This doctor's just gonna take a look before you're cured. Gadzooks, people really do come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? Funny. Looking at you, I was thinking the exact same thing. Okay, and his head is still giant. Holy cow, what a huge head. Kinda creepy. Your physique is extraordinary. Please, you must let me study your muscles. For the sake of scientific progress. Right, because he's Buccaneer, so that might be something new for Vegapunk. Oh, is she the sick child you mentioned? She looks like a cheeky scamp. Well, little pluckiness never hurt anyone. Alright, before I move on, I want to take a quick look through the, we do have Vegapunk. We didn't get any Straw Hats, we just saw places they were sent to. Ah, that's so cool, though. I really need to go back and pay attention to if somebody's eating, because I'm sure somebody probably was. We didn't get a bounty actually revealed. I don't think we've seen Kuma's Bible. Yeah, I think that might be about it. Yeah, no crocodile yet. So they were already sent to prison by this time. That's so interesting. We don't know what happened to cause that. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and continue then. Sapphire scales, eh? Well, you've done well to contain the spread. I can cure. You can? I'll do it with a method that's never been used in the medical field until now. And we see her playing with Centaur's axe. To be more precise, I'm gonna perform a stem cell transplant. With the amount of money and effort involved in the procedure, it'll be like making a cyborg. You're gonna turn her into a cyborg. No, I'm just comparing the cost. And then he looks, are you a buccaneer? And his eyes pop out. Yeah, you know I work for the government, right? I trust Dragon. What makes my blood so special anyway? I don't have enough samples to explain it in any detail. You want to clone me? That's right, I've been searching for the perfect model for my clone soldier project. If you donate some blood and give me permission to make your clones into soldiers, I'll waive all the medical expenses for Bonnie's procedure. You don't have any money, I assume. Well, it's not like I can pass on an offer like that anyway, but what are you going to do with them? An army where all soldiers look just like me. Are they going to be like the Marines? That's the gist of it. Have you heard of electromagnetic energy? My soldiers will have bodies so sturdy that they deflect bullets. They'll be heroes that protect the weak and helpless. If only I could get them to fire lasers too, those pirates would be scared speechless. In the face of devastating scientific power, evildoers have no choice but to submit. And we see how, the road to hell is paved with good intentions and everything with Vegapunk, where Vegapunk always just wanted to protect innocent people, but he thought he could do it through working with the government, even though, the government's using his technology for nefarious means, to say the least. They'll be warriors of the future, and there's no limit to their potential. You said you were open about your ambitions. Or he said you were open about your ambitions. He was right about you being both eccentric and trustworthy. Dragon said that, did he? He's always been a bit holier than thou. If clones of me ended up saving people someday, maybe I can view that as a good reason for why I was born. Dragon won't be happy about this arrangement. It's okay. I have nothing but gratitude for you both. Honestly, if it'd cure Bonnie, I would have made a deal with the devil himself. Please, just save her. You're quite the saint. And then, Holy Land of Meriwa. The clone soldiers are meant to be weapons. A weapon's worth is defined by how many people it can kill. Vegapunk's a fool for not making the most of this chance. No matter. I have my own ideas. Yes, sir. Your word is our command. Me? A saint? Don't be silly. I'm just a spineless pacifist. Of course I love keeping the peace. Keeping the peace, eh? I like the sound of that. Why don't we call them the Pacifista? They only wanted peace. 1099 end. That was, again, another really good chapter. I just think I talked about how kind of awful most of One Piece post-time skip has been. I don't know, not awful. I think most of it is solid. I think if you're comparing it to other manga and stuff, it is solid. I don't think it's among the best stuff. I don't think it's particularly super above average most of the time. It's just average most of the time. Sadly, there is a 100 plus chunk of the story that's kind of egregiously bad, which tanks it for me. That's what I tweeted something the other day where I was like, even if One Piece nails the ending, even if everything from here on out is even if Oda just kills it from here on out, I really can't overall call One Piece anything higher than a 7 out of 10, because the pre-time skip is near perfect. I can easily call that an 11 out of 10. Incredible. But then, if I'm to look back to Wano, or to look at the series as a whole, there's no possible way that I can talk to somebody about a series and be like, oh yeah, this series is great. By the way, you have to read some of the lamest writing for over 100 chapters. There's just no way to say that to somebody with a straight face and be like, oh yeah, One Piece is perfect. You just have to deal with awful writing for 100 plus chapters. But I've loved this Kuma backstory. So again, just hit and miss stuff. I have loved the Kuma backstory. Again, I guess I'll go through and see if anybody was eating. There's not really any point to it. while I'm talking about this, but yeah, either way, I guess that's going to be it. So like if you did like the video, and comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter. My first thoughts and reaction, I don't know, probably wasn't my best reaction or anything. Um, Gosh, Connie is bringing food to her. Subscribe for more if you want to. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to follow on Twitter, you can. If you want to help me to continue to make videos, you could always drop a super thanks. Or if you want to get One Piece a bit early, I post it publicly for everyone when the official translation comes out. But I post it early when I read the scans. For patrons and channel members, you can hit join down below to become a member. You can go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Either way, thank you to people who are patrons and members. Yeah, I didn't see anybody actually eating, just Connie holding food. We have Chosen Regular, Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono and Smeller Dog, Jeritan Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardealol. Thank you all so much for watching, even though I feel super off tonight. I feel really, really off. So sorry about that. Sorry if this isn't very good. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.